Your price is too high. I'll fix it myself for that much money. That's kind of what happened here. And let's take a look exactly what happened here. Let's get started. So welcome back to the Wizard Shop, guys. This is a 2003 Ford Focus SVT. It is a special edition. And no, I'm not bashing the customer. This customer is actually a very nice person, but they did kind of think that with the cost of things, what it was going to cost to fix everything on this car, they thought, I'll just fix it myself and save a lot of money. And they got halfway into it, and they were like, oh my gosh. They were like, He put it back together, and he had it towed up here, and he was like, I can't do this. I'm going to have to pay for it. I'm like, yeah, I know. So we're going to take a look at what needs to be done to this. It came here not starting. He says something's wrong, it won't start. We'll take a look at that. There's a list of things that's going to be taken care of while it's here, and we're happy to take care of it. They're things that we found as an issue a while back. But now we finally get to do the work because the customer realized they were way over their head trying to do it themselves. I know I'm not offended. I don't get mad because I fix all my own cars, and I welcome someone to fix their own cars if they can. That's great. But make sure with your mechanic, whoever your local person is that works on your cars, that you don't offend that person by saying, I'll fix it myself, I'll undercut you. Because the next time when this happens, your mechanic might say, beat it. I ain't working on your car. I kind of remember a scenario, a person saying they're going to do their own work, and they kept getting to roadblocks. So, man, I've tried everything. This won't come loose. And actually it was a friend of mine. I stopped by. I brought the special tool that's made to do that job, and like in 30 seconds, just zip, 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 and done. 3 times that scenario happened. The third time, my friend was like, where do you get all these special tools? And I said, bro, I literally have $100,000 in tools. That's where the cost comes in. I have to pay for all this stuff, which means I'm going to charge you to work on your car. Now, again, I don't have any issues with this customer. The customer, like I said, I applaud him trying to work on it himself, and he got in over his head and said, hey, can you take over from here? And yes, we will. A lot of the things he had issues with were suspension. He doesn't have a lift. He was worried about possibly getting injured. It was just like, I got to stop. So let's take a look around this little car. So here's the front. It looks basically like a Ford Focus, a 2003. There's some subtle differences with some of the bumper and the lighting and things of that nature that denotes it being an SVT. It is kind of a cute little car. It has a nice look to it. It doesn't have 4 doors. It's a 2-door, which really adds to it looking a little better. It is a hatchback, and it has dusty wheels. You can see there's dust all over this car. I think that maybe the person lives on a dirt road, or either that the tow truck got it dirty. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but it's not dinged up or beat up or anything. It has a nice hatchback. This would be a good little economy car that you could load stuff in the back and haul stuff around. It really wouldn't be too bad, but it is an SVT, so really it's geared towards performance. As you can see in the back, it's in pretty good shape, and same on this side. So let's go ahead and hop under the hood. Oh, it won't start. As you hear, it was clicking, it won't start. The customer stated that they tried to charge the battery for extended length of time and it did no good. It still won't start. Let's take a look here. This is an AC Delco battery. I don't see any kind of a date code or anything on it. But we did charge it, and Magic Mike tested the battery, and the battery is bad. So even though you charge it, it doesn't matter. It's still dead. Once we did jump it off, though, the engine runs fine. So there's no issue with the engine or anything, luckily. It just needs a new battery. I imagine it's been sitting a long time. This is the 2-liter 4-cylinder SVT. It's got about 170 horsepower and around 150 pound-feet of torque. It's not really a barn burner, but it's got good power for some fun, spirited driving. It's a pretty good engine. It doesn't have a lot of serious issues that I'm aware of. The last time it was in here, it was running very well, and again, it's still running very well. So I don't think there'll be a whole lot under the hood we're going to do, so let's hop into the interior and look around.
Okay, ladies and gents, there we go. You can see it. It has 78,979 miles. Let's go ahead and uncover that light, because that light does blow out our dash there. But this is looking really good. As we move up, we can see, hey, look at that dash. Even though it is hard plastic, it's in really, really good shape. There's no breaks, tears, crevices, nothing going on. You'll see a lot of gray in this interior. And it looks really good. It definitely spruces up the outside. This is definitely beyond what we see in a regular Ford Focus. Simple controls for our radio, HVAC system. As we scroll down, there we go, you can see it is a 6-speed manual transmission. So this would be a blast to drive. As we move over, got a few personal items in here. We'll move their mail very quickly. But there we can see on the door card and on the seat, we've got matching kind of a red woven fabric there. So it looks really good. Definitely adds some more to the car than just, just vinyl and leather. Looks like the seat might need just a little cleaning, but other than that, it's in fabulous shape. No, ladies and gents, that back seat did not have a tornado go through it. No. That is how it was received here after the customers did a little bit of repairs in that back section. So obviously we've got a few issues that we're going to be addressing back there, but the Wizard's going to be sharing that with you, not in our interior review. As we look up, you'll see that headliner looking good. No sags, no marks, nothing going on. Looking good. I know, we're already to the end, ladies and gents. And here's that very simple, easy to control steering wheel that is standard for Ford. Got a few controls there on the side, but for the most part, we can be focusing on what's in front of us rather than figure out which buttons to be pushing. So, I'm wondering why that back is tore up so much. Let's go check that out.
So as I mentioned, the customer tried to do some work themselves and threw in the towel. Let's open the hatch and take a look. You can see there's some shocks, some springs, some suspension bushings. It looks like they did get a shock replaced, or maybe did something. We're going to have to kind of take a look and see what all needs to be done, or what has been done, what hasn't been done. One thing to keep in mind, guys, is if you tear into a car and present it to your mechanic after you throw in the towel, what should have been an hour job now is going to be a 2-hour job, because the mechanic has to backtrack everything that you just did, because they have to give a warranty. I'm going to have to double back and check everything, make sure what you did was right, make sure what I did was right, then complete the job. You could cost yourself more money. I don't think that's the case here. I think they just reached a point where they said, I'm not going to go any further. But again, that has yet to be determined. So we have extra parts in the back. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the lift. So we know the suspension needs to be addressed, and we can take a look here and see that he did successfully get the front struts and springs and things installed. Looks like there was something positive that happened here. Let's go ahead and look at the rest of the car. So we have the radiator. Everything looks nice and dry. The exhaust, everything looks good. This is probably some sort of an SVT added exhaust, or SVT equipped, I should say. Our lower oil pan has some seepage. It might be just the drain plug. We'll have to see. You can see there has new Bilsteins, new sway bar links. So the customer did do some of the work and was successful at that. Let's take a look at the other side. Everything looks pretty good there. Looks like they did okay on that. CV boots are good. Make sure there was nothing loose over here. Nothing's loose. I see a new tie rod in. That's also on both sides. It has new tie rod ends. Let's take a look up through the back side of the engine. We can see everything looks intact there. Nothing's leaking back there. Our exhaust is a little rusty, but it's still intact. Everything seems okay on it. So here's our fuel tank, heat shields, everything's intact. And these are all things that I'm mentioning because I know the customer has been working on their car. If I just focus on this and don't check everything else, and he drives it home and says the heat shield fell off, I'll be like, oh crap, I should have checked that he had that back together right. So I'm going back over the whole car. This is where more time comes in because I'm going to have to make sure everything's good to go here. So let's move on back. Here's our charcoal canister. Everything looks good. One thing I do see is missing sway bar links here. And also on this side. So that is probably needing to be done. We have old shocks in the back and also the old springs. Let's check, see if anything's loose. Nothing's loose there. The pads are good. Let's check the other side. All the old springs, old shocks. So very likely the customer got to this point right here at the rear axle and realized one slip up and this spring could literally break my wrist. I don't have the tools. I don't have anything that's used to get this job done right. So I probably better take it back to the shop. So they threw in the towel here, and that's why we have the parts in the trunk to be put these on. So we can take care of that. That's no problem. We'll get with the customer and see if that's all they wanted done or if there's a few other things. Otherwise, it looks pretty decent. Let's get this thing on the ground. So it wasn't too many years ago that cars were a lot easier to work on and you could fix your own car in your driveway. But nowadays cars are built to a price point and a lot of the things in the suspension or the way they bolt things in is not meant for you to work on. It's meant for the ease of assembly so they can get the car out the door, sold, and into your driveway. They don't care if it's hard to work on. So nowadays we have cars that people think they shouldn't be so hard to do, and then they get it apart and they're like, oh my goodness, this is way beyond everything I could ever imagine. And yes, you can rent tools, you can rent spring compressors, you can rent different things, but again, you're not using a lift. Like I said, one small misstep and the spring could slip, it could break your wrist, it could be very dangerous. And number two, by the time you've rented all these tools and bought all these special things and tried to do this yourself, you start tallying up the price and you're like, I could have paid the mechanic to do this already and I wouldn't even be here cursing. So you have to really think about that as well. And the purpose of the video today is if you turn down a job thinking you're going to fix it yourself, that's fine as long as you can do it yourself. And this customer hasn't made me angry, but it's very likely that the mechanic you're dealing with could get very upset that you first turned down the job, then you brought it back because it's beyond your ability, and you have it half torn apart. You're going to have an angry, angry mechanic. They may say, get out. Luckily, I'm not going to do that here. I probably would if it literally was apart in pieces and it didn't even roll. I would probably say, nah, bro, we're not doing that. But he got it to a point where everything else is together. There's very minimal work extra that needs to be done. We can knock this out pretty quickly, have him back on the road. So we've got a battery we need to be replaced. The oil drain plug might need to be replaced. Finish up the rear end, the springs and things that he wanted to get done, and we can probably get this car out of here and solve this problem for the customer. If you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to finish this thing out for the customer, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut. We really appreciate it. And we have more bus videos coming and XLR videos and all kinds of videos. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.